happiest moment of my life was when my daughter was born. The saddest moment in my life was when my nanny died. My earliest memory is going to the farm with my dad and being able to ride horses as a young girl, probably about 4 years old. And I would wake him up early so I could go with him. My life has been different than I imagined, because I imagined I would have about 5 kids, but I only have 1. I would like to be remembered as a person who did the right thing and was kind. The only regret that I have is I did not go to the art school in London that I was accepted for when I was 18, all because a dumb boy was going to miss me. I first fell in love with a boy when I was in 9th grade and he was in 11th grade. My first kiss was so embarrassing. It was in 4th grade in front of the entire lunchroom. A boy that liked me came up and kissed me in front of everyone, and I was mortified and ran out. My first serious relationship was with the boy that I first fell in love with, and we dated for about 3 years, and he is not the boy I married. The lessons I've learned from my relationships is you should always be honest with each other, and you should communicate and be kind to one another. I met my husband when we were both in the Army living in Colorado Springs, and I knew that he was the one because when he was deployed to Somalia for 6 months, he wrote me a love letter every single day, and I kept them all. And he proposed to me when we were both visiting each other in Texas, and he got on one knee and said, "Will you marry me?" So I was happy. The best times of our marriage, I would say pretty much when he would come home from deployments or being gone a long time. It was always great to reunite. The most difficult times were he deployed a lot and he was gone a lot for the first 20 years of our marriage. So that was always difficult. And a story from my marriage is one that I like. Before my husband and I were married, he planned a surprise trip when we were living in Colorado, and he didn't tell me anything about it. I had to just roll with the day and see what the day brought, and he had all kinds of little surprises for me along the way, and we went to the Royal Gorge in Colorado, and it was really cool. My religious beliefs, I consider myself to be Christian and live by Christian principles. And do I believe in God? Yes, I do believe in God. I had a serious illness. I had cancer about 15 years ago on my eardrum, and so I had to have a lot of surgeries, and it's all good now. And I do look at life differently than before I was diagnosed, because I honestly at that time didn't know if I would be here to see my child graduate from high school. So I appreciate every moment that I have. And I was in the military. I was in the Army for 4 years. And the only time that I was afraid when I was in the military was when I very first went to basic training, because I didn't really know what to expect, and it was the first time that I had ever been away from every single thing I knew in a completely different environment than going to college and being at home. The strongest memories I have from times in the military are the friendships and relationships that I developed everywhere that I moved. And the lessons that I learned from this time in my life was we can pretty much do anything if we put our minds to it. That's it.
Louise.